Cool, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to A2NewTech. Great to have you all come out and not get confused that we're down a floor this evening. My name's Brian Kelly. I'm your monthly host and speaker curator, I guess. And this forum, if you've never been here before, has been running for 7 years. Last month was the 7th year that A2NewTech's been running, so quite a long time. 4,500 plus people on the mailing list. And the point is that we're all busy. We're all working on a lot of different projects, day jobs, night jobs, and not often are you able to get into the same physical space and meet each other. So it's an opportunity both to practice your pitch and to meet some other entrepreneurs, find a job, find somebody to hire, all the above, but basically bring the tech community here together in Ann Arbor. You have to excuse my voice this evening. I got knocked out by one of these winter colds over the past few days, and I'm better now, but not totally recovered. So I don't shake your hand, I'll just kind of wave awkwardly. So tonight we have 5 companies. They'll be giving each a 5-minute pitch, and they'll do 5 minutes of Q&A. The companies that we look for to have here are in that early validation through growth stage. We've had companies that are literally, talk to 100 potential customers and have an idea, and they're in the process of building it, through companies that have raised, tens of millions of dollars. So it's all things in between. Everyone's welcome. If you have or you know somebody that might fit that criteria and you think this would be a good opportunity for the practice, have them email organizers at A2NewTech. We'll be here. We've been in this space for, over a year now in this building. And we'll also be here next month. So it's the 3rd Tuesday of the month, April 19th at 6:30. We'll also be downstairs in this exact room next month. A big shout out and thanks to everybody that makes this possible. So A2 Geeks is a nonprofit in town, if you haven't heard of it. They help make events like this and Coffeehouse Coders possible. And they're a big supporter of making A2NewTech possible. Roger, the man, is back here, not ill this evening. He and I are switching places, I guess.
I was in Key West last night.
Oh.
I wasn't ill.
He's pulling my chain. So Roger has a company called R2 Vive, does all the recording and live streaming of these events. So you can, if you're up here and pitching, you can then share it with your mom afterward. Thanks to Bryce Pills and the Entrepreneurship Clinic at the University of Michigan Law School for lending us this space. Big thanks. The space has been great, and the law school has been really, really kind and supportive of this event. After all of this, we'll do 5 pitches, 5 minutes each, then 5 minutes Q&A. And for each presenter, and then we'll do community announcements at the end. So think about something you want to talk about. If you have a meetup, a cool event, you're looking to hire, you're looking for a job, we'll have everybody line up and give your 30 seconds of what you got to say.
Actually, it was A2NewTech that I was in Key West.
Oh, okay.
I was sick last month.
Yeah. I'm still getting over cold. My memory's not.
Yeah, it's probably the same cold.
And then afterward, there's often a lot of people go out to Pizza House over Church Street, just 3-4 blocks away. And of course, the monthly podcast recommendations from me. I only have one to recommend this month, but it's actually kind of 2. So there's if you're a subscription software service, you always are trying to figure out what all your metrics are. And so there's a company out there called ChartMogul that we use at the company I work at, Nutshell, and they have a really great podcast that I didn't even know was around until recently, called SaaS Open Mic. Just founder interviews. One that's really good is the recent one with Clearbit's founder, Alex McCaw. And I also learned about this really cool app called Blinkist. Has anyone ever heard of Blinkist? Okay, yeah, only one person. That's amazing. It's Cliff Notes for all nonfiction books, but they do all the working, and they put it both in written form and in audio form. So instead of going and reading 4-hour work week, just go and check out that app. I'm not getting paid. I just think it's a cool app. So Now, mute your phones if you haven't done that. If you're going to tweet, use hashtag A2NewTech. And I'm happy to welcome our first presenters down, Eric and Steven from Ash and Anvil. This is one of 2 companies that made it in from Detroit tonight. Thank you guys, that's awesome. The one-liner is Ash and Anvil makes clothes for shorter guys, like the everyday shirt. And welcome on. Perfect.
Hey everyone, my name's Steven, and as you can see, I'm pretty short. For myself and the 1 out of 3 American men that are 5'8" and below, buying clothes is tough. Clothes are made from models that are 6'1", many in the audience today, not for guys like me. Us shorter guys have 2 options. We can live with bad fit, or we can take all of our clothes to the tailor. As I mentioned before, 1 in 3 American men are 5'8" and under. That's a huge number, representing over 40 million adults in our country alone. And the best part, that population spends over $20 billion a year on clothes that often don't even fit. I challenge everyone here today. Can you think of a brand that caters to shorter men? If you look at the industry, for big and tall and plus size men's and women's, their industries are billions of dollars, with hundreds of stores going after each vertical. For petite women, again, worth $9 billion last year and hundreds of stores targeting that vertical. But for shorter guys, there's nothing, even though it's a third of the population, even though it's 40 million guys. And that's where Ash and Anvil comes in. We are defining the short and small category, and we're creating the first major retailer for shorter guys. Now we're honored today to be joined by a real-life Ash and Anvil customer, Obi. Round of applause for him, please. The shirt he's wearing doesn't look great. This is a Ralph Lauren shirt, $100 at Macy's, very nice brand, but body length is way too long, the sleeves go down past his hand, the collar is way too high, and it doesn't look good. I think we can all agree on that. Now let's try Ash and Anvil. That was a medium, and this is an Ash and Anvil medium, and this fit is much, much better. The length isn't too long, the sleeves are perfect, the collar is not too high, and I think it looks pretty damn good. Thanks for that. We launched our online store in November, and we're fortunate to have very exciting early traction. We ended up selling out our inventory in the first 5 weeks, and we now have over $64,000 in revenue to date. Fortunately, 96% of our customers get back to us and say that they love the everyday shirts, they love the fit, and they can't wait for even more clothes. And Eric and I are the team to get this going. We've been building companies together for years. We met as Venture for America fellows working in downtown Detroit at Social Proof, and we have an amazing team of supporters and advisors, including these 4 men there. That includes guys like Louis, who worked for decades as a fashion designer at Barbados, Calvin Klein, some of the major brands, and Tim Grace, who was the head of product at Trunk Club when they sold to Nordstrom's a few years ago. Now I want to talk about Patrick. Patrick is a 40-year-old music professor at Georgia State University. He ordered some shirts from us and sent us this testimonial and the photo unsolicited. He says that he's sick and tired of shopping at Gap Kids. This is an attractive 40-year-old man who has had to shop in the kids section his entire adult life. That's wrong. Guys like Patrick, guys like ourselves, and all the shorter guys in the audience today should be able to shop in a section that's made for them, not in the kids section, and they should never have to go to a tailor again. Moving forward, we plan to design a whole wardrobe of clothes for shorter guys. Everything from jeans, chinos, shorts, sweatpants, pajamas, really the whole gamut where height could be an issue in finding the right fit. We recently finished up the TechStars Startup Next program, a pre-accelerator in downtown Detroit, and we're now trying to raise a small round as well. And we're looking for growth partners. I would love to hear some questions from the audience, and thanks for having us.
Who's got questions? 2 apparel companies, 2 months in a row. That's pretty cool, huh? Fire away. Start in the back.
I just thought your pitch was awesome. No question.
Thank you. That was appreciated. Thanks.
Another one was right.
I'm wondering where your manufacturing is happening and what that process is.
Yeah, so we make our clothes overseas in Vietnam. We designed in Detroit. We have a partner there that we are fortunate to work with. He's shorter himself. I'm excited about our potential.
So what do you think your biggest risk is? Like, being copied by the major retailers, or what could be the risk?
It's a good question. There's definitely a ton of risk as a small company, of course. There's some risk that major retailers will copy us. Honestly, we're more excited about that than anything else. There's a third of men that are out there considered short, 5'8" and below, and should be shopping in a section that's meant for them. And right now, they don't even know it exists. And so if there are major retailers that come about, we're confident we can have a place even with those retailers among the audience. I think as an apparel brand, a big part of it is the brand. We have a great e-commerce store. We have wonderful shirts that our customers like. But at the end of the day, if it's a brand that people don't associate with, then they're not going to want to buy from it. And so building our brand is something that we're very intentional about. It's going to be really tough, but it is definitely a big challenge.
Well, I guess if you're trying to build that brand, I'm surprised that you're not stressing the design in Detroit, like made in Detroit, like focusing on Detroit. I've seen a lot of like companies really focus on that, and that bring a lot of value and like edge to the product. So that may be something you want to consider.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion. We're not made in Detroit, so that's something that we've been careful to be honest about that and say, look, we are based in Detroit, we're happy to be there, but we do make the clothes overseas at an accessible price. But we haven't really played it up too much as part of our story, so we probably should.
What's your cost strategy?
What was that?
Cost.
Yeah, so breaking it down, I have a few notes here. This is our margins right now with our first order shirts and margins more at scale looking forward. Our margin at this point is about 54%. It's a number that we're pretty happy with, but we know can get much, much better as we get higher. The shirts retail for $69 from our online store. And that includes shipping, exchanges, and returns to our customers.
Question that, like, for somebody else like who has a great idea like this, did you find it difficult to kind of stand the whole store up online, or is it pretty great these days to use like Shopify or something to do that?
It's definitely a challenge. My co-founder Eric over there is one that handles the technical side of it, and I don't have that background. Finding someone that does is huge. Hugely important. I cannot imagine having started the company without it. So it's a challenge, of course. It's our storefront. How it looks and how it runs is so important. But we couldn't have done this 10 years ago. There's no way we could make clothes in small scale and reach people online 10 years ago without things like Shopify to help us.
Sorry, done it from.
So how are you forecasting demand? You mentioned a couple different things, including chinos. But how are you forecasting demand, both in terms of the types of clothing and in terms of the sizes? And what are your plans if you have excess inventory? Are you doing sales, or how are you going to handle that?
Yeah, very good question. Something we thought quite a bit about. So we initially had a crowdfunding campaign to pre-sell our everyday shirts. And so that was a way to get 200 or 300 customers in the door. They could tell us their size. And so we used that to judge the first run. We made some mistakes, no doubt. We ordered probably too many of the larger sizes. We offer extra small all the way to 2XL and too few of the smaller ones. And so now we have 500 happy customers. We have looked at the sizes that they've bought. We've sent out surveys asking what products they want next. And so we know what our customers want. We're also shorter guys ourselves that are in the range we're going after. So we know what we've had problems with our whole lives. Like I had to hem every pair of pants I've ever bought, jeans are terrible, things like that. So a mix between what we know we want, what our customers have said they wanted through their data and surveys, and then for sizing, taking the best guess based on the data that we have and the industry as a whole. And we're always going to have to improve that. We're going to have excess colors that don't sell and sizes that don't. And we likely will have some discounts along the way to cover those, but in general we are a somewhat premium, higher end mainstream brand at $69, $79 a shirt.
So do you have international customers?
We do, not too many of them. We haven't marketed to this audience at all, and shipping is not included for those customers, so the cost is much higher. But we do have customers in about 12 different countries at this point, and we ship to 30 different countries.
Great question.
Perks of the internet, they make it easier to do that.
So another question, what's your marketing strategy in order to get your brand out there and get it known?
Yeah, so when we started off, we focused on word of mouth and press the most. We don't have a marketing budget, we bootstrap the entire business, and so we said, look, let's get some press because we know that'll get people to our site at no cost. It worked, fortunately. We've been covered by CNN, Fortune, and some other larger names, and Detroit Regional. So we sold out of our clothes from that. Moving forward, press isn't scalable. You have to look at other methods that are. And so we have a plan in place to go and own the Google search terms, which really starts to get into Facebook and Instagram advertising, and then also some more organic ways to grow, like content as well.
One more question and we'll close it out. Back there.
So you're establishing your brand and a market category. Have you talked to these retail apparel industry analysts on what the market category for shorter men or petite men, I guess what we call.
Yeah, we've looked quite a bit in that data. You know, there's not too much third-party data on the audience since there isn't really a market. In a lot of ways, we are defining it, even though there is a big problem. We haven't spoken with any retailers formally. We've only been around for a couple months. We want to focus on building our brand for at least the next year or two. Make sure we can own the products that come out and really be close to the customer in that sense. But from conversations with people like our advisors at Trunk Club and whatnot, they do agree it's a problem. They agree it's something that we could solve in an easy way, and retailers would want to get on board. But very much something we're thinking about and want to go eventually.
Yeah, well, I meant retail analysts who cover the retail space, like you will give you some insight.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a good suggestion. We've looked up quite a bit ourselves. We haven't really found any third-party folks.
Yeah, let's give Steve a round. All right, next up we have Abby and Lily from Skillet. They are based here in Ann Arbor and went through the Tech Arb program, which is a partnership with the Center of Entrepreneurship and
Zeller Institute at Ross.
there you go. And so they actually were incubated in downtown Ann Arbor, and they have a company called Skillet. Skillet creates grab-and-go dinner kits that make healthy home cooking exciting, affordable, and convenient. So with that, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. I'm Lily Hamburger, and this is Abby Schachter. We're really excited to be here tonight, particularly at dinner time, our favorite time to talk about our company.
So what are you having for dinner tonight? Maybe you'll stop after this event at the grocery store, pick up some ingredients, and go home and make a delicious home-cooked meal. Or maybe you won't. Maybe it's been a long day, you came straight from work, the fridge is empty, and the last thing you want to do is go all the way to the store and figure out something to cook. We know that many of us share these common pain points when it comes to dinner time. Picking a recipe, getting to the store, and hunting down ingredients can be really time-consuming and inconvenient. As we get busier, we have to make trade-offs more and more between convenience, cost, and nutrition. And we know that these decisions can be really stressful. We've talked to over 150 potential customers, and we heard that 81% of them decide what to eat or cook at the last minute at least once a week. And usually these decisions mean you end up eating something less than satisfying or skipping dinner altogether. We think there has to be a better way. And our better way is Skillet, a grab-and-go dinner kit that contains a recipe and all the fresh ingredients you need to make dinner tonight. Our kits come in 1, 2, or 4 portions and take about 30 minutes to prepare with no special kitchen equipment. The instructions are really clear and detailed, so even the novice in your family can whip them together. And we use local and seasonal ingredients to maximize freshness and boost our amazing local food economy. But what really sets us apart is our distribution model. Skillet kits are sold through convenient self-service kiosks that are placed in locations throughout the community that you pass by every day. We put these kiosks in workplaces, gyms, transit centers, and even your apartment building to bring them to you and make dinner less stressful. The kiosks are refrigerated, credit card enabled, and smart, so they allow for real-time inventory tracking. And with our mobile app and website, customers can look up the nearest kiosk and see what's in stock so they know what they're getting when they stop by on their way home. So, as I mentioned, we've done some customer interviews, and we've narrowed down our initial customer segment to adults aged 21 to 34 who are employed full-time or grad students. We've had a lot of interest in this area, and living in mid-sized U.S. cities like Ann Arbor. And they don't necessarily have children yet, but they are very interested in making healthy choices for themselves and their loved ones. We heard that their main pain points are boredom with the current recipes in their rotation, lacking time to meal plan, and as I mentioned, deciding what to cook at the last minute all too often. They really want more variety in their diets. They want Thai food, Indian, Mexican, curries, stir-fries, but they really want to make sure that these ingredients are high quality and very fresh. And most of all, they need convenience.
So the meal kit industry has been growing over the last several years with the main players listed on the slide. But there are some customer concerns. The main gap that we want to fill is that there's not an on-demand, on-the-go, ready when you haven't planned ahead option here. There's a lot of concern also with Blue Apron, the leader in the industry, about the amount of packaging waste that's in the kits, and so that's something that we're going to try to avoid as well. Also, we've seen a decline over the last couple of years in the traditional convenience meal industry, and that's because, as Abby mentioned, customers are looking for more freshness and healthfulness in their meal choices. So we're pricing Skillet dinner kits at $7.50 a serving, and the margin on those is around 50%, which the pricing puts us on par with some of the most affordable meal options out there, including fast food. And this is our main revenue stream, but we see exciting opportunities to grow from here, including into snack packs and lunches, into kid-friendly meals, into doing some co-branding with celebrity chefs or with restaurants in our ingredients that go into the kits. And then we're also excited about the potential for going as a B2B option as an employee wellness benefit or an amenity in apartment building. So our team is graduate students from business and public health, but we're looking for an operations expert with experience in the food space to complement our experiences and skill sets. And hopefully eventually we'd like to also add a chef in the near future. We have built strong community partnerships, and our eco-friendly packaging is going to be coming this year from MSU's Product Center, which we're really excited about. And then we're ready to go into our third round of prototyping with our Serve Safe certification so that we can actually do some pilot sales and get feedback on the kits before launching our first kiosk. So when you haven't planned ahead and want a healthy and delicious meal, Skillet is the affordable, healthy dinner choice you can feel good about.
And now we'll do 5 minutes of questions.
Great. Great idea. I can't plan my dinner any day at all, so it's fantastic. The margins you projected, does that include your delivery costs, including the refrigerated units being put out there?
Yeah.
Really?
So the kiosks are leased. We're not making them ourselves, and so that helps to keep the capital expenditures low.
So then you probably have some optimal volume that you want to sell from each kiosk.
Yeah. And the profitability of each one will definitely improve as we scale.
Great.
Yeah.
How many of these units do you have now?
0.
We've identified the company we plan to lease them from, and we've begun some conversations with partners around the community to figure out where we're going to place them, including the YMCA. And so we would still have to negotiate what those terms would look like. But as we mentioned, the next step would be pop-up sales with just the kits to get initial feedback and get our brand awareness out there before we invest in the machine itself. Yeah.
Obviously, the concern with the reason frozen meals are so popular is that fresh food goes bad quickly. When do you guys have any place to take care of that? I know you understand analytics, but how are you going to make sure that there aren't like 4 rotting kits for everyone who would hit?
Right. So we would have an extensive food safety plan. The Michigan State Product Center has food safety experts, so we're making sure that we would do shelf life testing. And with the inventory tracking built into the machine, each kit has an RFID tag, so you know exactly when it went in and when it'll go bad. We've talked about doing some kind of discount on the last day of its shelf life, and if it doesn't sell, then we could work with somebody like Food Gatherers to make sure that those ones that are still good but toward the end of their freshness date would still be able to be used.
So are you accounting for spoilage in your margins?
And that also would go down over time as we get more efficient and better at projecting inventory.
Have you done some prototype testing?
Yes, we did 2 very small rounds. Last spring, we actually came up with this idea through a competition at the School of Public Health. And so we gave people dinner kits and asked for their feedback and had them go through and cook. So that helped figure out kind of the timing, the level of preparedness, whether people want the vegetables whole or pre-chopped, and the types of recipes they wanted to see. So we're gearing up for our next round of prototyping.
So in your customer discovery, did you see that the customers were primarily looking at this as something that they might use multiple times per week, or was it more of a sort of on-demand purchase?
It seemed like both. It depended on the type of person. So when we raised the idea of putting it in your apartment building, people love that. They're like, I wouldn't even have to leave. It would be on my way home or even as they were leaving the office.
And even people who did cook fairly often, most of the people we heard from cooked an average of 4 times a week, but they tended to use the same rotation of recipes because they didn't feel comfortable straying from that and didn't want to waste money on ingredients they might only use once. So this was people were really excited about the idea of getting to try new recipes in a lower risk way.
We actually had a hard time narrowing down to a target market because we saw such a wide range of interest for a wide variety of reasons. And so the target that we've chosen to start with for who we want to hit with our marketing is those customers that care about eating healthy and are cooking at home but want that variety. But there's also people who could use this product to learn how to cook and to get introduced and build their skill set in that way. And so yeah, a wide range of interests.
And along those lines, we also had substantial interest in the empty nester retirees. So we know that when you have kids, they might be pickier, but before and after the kids are out of the house, it's a great time to kind of pick up those skills too.
Where are you getting your food from?
So one nice thing, we're planning on working out of the Washtenaw Community Food Hub. Yes. So they have a commercial kitchen space in town, and it's located on Chantre Farms, and they are well connected with a lot of the other farms in the area, and that's one reason we're excited about starting in Michigan, because there is so much rich agriculture in this area. So we're planning to source locally as much as possible, at least one ingredient per kit, and we're still working on those.
Yeah, lots of opportunities to build partnerships there.
Question up in that.
Yeah, I guess there's kind of a follow-up question to that. I guess you're going to have to have variable cost, right, per location, because like San Francisco tomatoes are probably a lot more than say here.
Right.
Have you accounted for that, or like are you doing demographics to see kind of like where you might branch to next?
Yeah, we definitely have more analysis to do on where to go next, but our thought right now is to build kind of regional hubs around commercial kitchens, and so starting in Southeast Michigan, and then building out regionally from there. But I think that's a great next step is kind of some more market analysis on who's interested and where would be the best places for us to grow into.
Cool. I think that's all the time we have for questions. Thanks so much. Right, now we got our 2 of 2 pitch coming in from Detroit. This is Matt. Matt has worked at, I got to know Matt actually a couple of years ago. I was working at a startup called Up2. Now he's got a company to talk to you tonight about called StockX. And the very vague but intriguing one-liner is the stock market of things, starting with sneakers. So with that, take it away, Matt.
All right. Everyone, as I said, my name is Matt Piccinato. I'm co-founder/developer at StockX, which is stock market of things. And he said we're starting off with sneakers. One of the questions that we asked ourselves is, what if there was a real live online stock market of things? You could buy, sell anything as if it was a live trading platform. First example that we started off with is sneakers. There's a very large secondary market for sneakers and resell from Nikes, New Balance, Asics. Some of the examples that we have are the Adidas Yeezy 750 that retailed for $350, has a resale price of $2,162. Some people buy and collect these and then resell them. Some people actually put them on their feet and wear them. But they do go for quite a bit on the aftermarket. So the problem that we're trying to solve with StockX is that the secondary market is broken up across many different spaces, from people selling on Instagram, Twitter, eBay, all these different resources, and they're just not built to handle this kind of market. eBay has a lot of people trying to game the system through search results, so if I search for the Yeezy Boost, I'm actually going to get just a bunch of different sneakers that don't actually match because everyone's trying to compete to try and sell their sneakers. Plus, there's also a lot of fraud that happens in this space. People swapping out the wrong shoe, wearing the shoe before they sell it, so you're not getting a dead stock brand new shoe. Credit card fraud, you pretty much name it, people are doing it in this market. So our solution is StockX, the world's first stock market for consumer products, and we're focused on sneakers. One of our biggest focuses is transparency, in that we show the market data that we come from all different sources, so you know exactly what that shoe has been doing in the market, if it's been going up or down, if it's a good time to sell, it's a good time to buy. It's one of the things that's easiest to kind of go through and show the site. that we built. So it launched about, I think, 5 weeks ago-ish, a month or so ago, and we have a live ticker that shows, the current prices going up and down as if it was an actual stock market. We track trends, the historical pricing data across Nike, Jordan, and the EON index. Since Nike and Jordan make up for 90% of the retail or the secondary market, the EON index represents everything other than Nike. So you can take a look at one of the shoes, the Jordan 11 Retro 7210. This one came out not too long ago. Sorry, this site's kind of optimized for different size screens. So if we take a look, we bring legitimacy in that you're going to get the product that you are looking to buy. So the process works like this, where a seller will list their shoe on the market, a buyer, put a bid in, and once the ask price and the bid price match, a transaction will come into place, and the seller will get a notification to ship their shoe to us. We will take the shoe in. We have a really great guy that comes in, that takes the shoe out of the box. He'll smell it to check if the glue is right. He'll make sure it hasn't been worn. Just make sure that that person's going to get an authentic sneaker. And then we box it back up if it's good and ship it on to the buyer. The way we make money is that we take a 10% transaction fee on every set. So when it comes through us, we just take 10% off, and we just take 10% off of it. Okay. Some of the things that we experience when we receive the shoe, like I said, the fraud. We get shoes that are worn. We get shoes that, don't actually meet the quality that we set out to meet. We actually will bring in shoes from Russia or China, those suppliers that make these fakes, and compare them, so we make sure we're doing it accurately and make sure that buyer gets the right item. One cool thing that we do is on the site, users are able to track their portfolios. So just like a stock market portfolio, at all the stocks that you have, you can see what everyone is collecting, buying, selling, how many of which that they have. These are all public portfolios. People have quite a lot of sneakers, as you can see. You can watch the gain and loss on these. You can see the market value, how much they've made on this, the average price of the sneaker, and the average sneakerhead score. So we kind of rate sneakers based on their popularity within the secondary market. And we kind of give them a breakdown of all of their sneakers. So that is StockX in a nutshell. Any questions?
All right.
You said it was, sneakers is the first thing. What's the second thing?
We kind of toss around that idea. There's a lot of different collectible markets that we can enter, from purses to watches to even toys. Kind of look at some of the higher value items, just because they each have a niche market to them that we can kind of go off of.
Could you just clarify for me, so people send new sneakers to you that is like new old stock of sneakers, and then you certify sort of that they're original and not a copy and haven't been worn.
Right.
And then you're the marketplace, and then who pays for shipping?
We actually pay for, the buyer or the seller pays for the shipping. We charge $10 for shipping, okay. And then we charge the buyer $10 for shipping.
Okay, and then one last question. So who's the demographic that collects sneakers?
It ranges really anywhere from 12 to 50 years old. Or older. We go to these things called sneaker cons, which are the big meetups where everyone traditionally buys, sells, and trades. Everyone sets up a booth and they set up their sneakers in this big display, and then people kind of haggle on the price amongst each other there. And we're trying to bring transparency to that, because some people will say, "Yeah, this shoe's $300," and then 2 booths down, the person's selling it for $150, and nobody really knows how to really price these shoes.
How do you prevent the counterfeits from coming onto your platform?
How do we prevent fakes from coming onto our platform? Yeah. So we can't really prevent fakes from coming onto our platform. Somebody can list the shoe that they have in their hands that is a fake and sell it for $500. It will come to us, And we don't release the funds to the seller until we verify that it's authentic. So it goes into an escrow account. It'll sit there. Once we receive it, we'll do the authentication process and make sure it's legitimate. Otherwise, we'll ship the shoe back to them and refund the money back to the buyer.
By purchasing a shoe, does somebody have to just sign something or agree to your verification of the shoe? Like, what if they do receive it and they can prove that it is a fake? What's the process for?
Yeah, we do have a terms and conditions that everyone agrees to when they go through the process of listing a shoe. And I do believe it's covered in there. I'm not on the legal side of all the stuff, so I haven't read through that doc completely. But we do have one of the best in the business for verifying sneakers. And I think about 2,700 points that you can look at.
Cool. Follow up to that, I guess, is if you do move into other stuff, like, how easy do you think it would be to kind of replicate your skill set for authenticity of other things that might be harder
For like other verticals, like watches or
baseball cards or whatever?
It's a question that we have to look into. Something we haven't dove into those other markets yet. We have to look for experts in those spaces.
Question in the back.
What are some of the reasons that the shoes on the secondary market are more expensive than retail price?
The retail, just mostly a lot of times it's rarity. Like the Easy Boost that I showed, or like this M&M Carhartt. There's only 10 of these. And so the M&M Carhartt, that's why that one goes for $21,000, $22,000, $23,000. Some of the Easy Boosts, like or Kanye's shoes that have been released, they're just in limited quantity. You can't get them. And that just drives up demand for them.
So how far do you anticipate going in terms of mimicking the capabilities of a stock exchange? I mean, is somebody going to be shorting a particular sneaker anytime soon? Or any limit orders, or
It's a possibility. We do toy around with the idea of having people like taking on our inventory ourselves and allowing people to buy and sell without ever, taking on that physical shoe. And so we just kind of do a virtual trade.
Thank you.
Seems like counterfeiting might be an issue, especially with the more collectible shoes. Do they tend to trade or sell for a premium on your site versus what the market value is due to the extra value you provide in ensuring authenticity?
That's a good question. I'm not sure on the stats and they actually go for more on our site rather than, because we do collect resale data from a bunch of different sites, and that's actually a good thing to probably go back and look at.
One more question. There, you got my hat.
Do the limited edition sneakers, do they have any kind of certification or serial number or anything that you can actually track if there's only 10? Who has the 10 or a registry or anything like that?
There currently is not. So something like the Jordan 4 Retro M&M Carhartt, we know that there's only 10 of those. We don't know who has them. Other ones, we don't know how many Nike releases. They could run 5,000, they could run 20,000, they could run 100,000 of them, and we're just not sure.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. The apparel theme continues. Next one is not apparel based. Tom Schultz has a company project that he's been working on called Ziptastic. First, shout out to Tom for volunteering to do this pitch in less than a day. We had one of our pre-scheduled speakers wasn't able to make it. So thank you. You already get points in my book for this. Geocoding made simple, help your users enter data faster and easier with Ziptastic. With that.
Hello, my name is Tom Schultz. I'm from Owasso, Michigan. Anybody heard of Owasso, Michigan? Okay, that's the response I usually get. So, I'm a software engineer. I've been doing software engineering for about 12 years now. Ziptastic is a solution to a pet peeve of mine. As a software engineer, we develop a lot of forms, and in testing those forms, we fill them out over and over and over again. So people probably can relate through software engineering. So this is a typical form that many of you have probably seen, many of you have probably filled out online over and over again. It's not a very sexy thing. So my question is, isn't a zip code enough. So on my website, getziptastic.com, I have a little demo. There's a couple demos. And this is kind of one of the many ways that we can use postal code data, geodata. So if you have a web form, somebody can just fill out a postal code. And from the postal code, we can actually get all of this different information on that. So there's a lot of different things that you can use for this for. There's another one demo a little bit later. This basically reverse geocoding. This is forward geocoding, which is the postal code to data, and the reverse geocoding is just coordinates to data. I started Ziptastic about a year ago now, and these are some of the customers that we have. Or sorry, my bad. This is also the first pitch that I've ever done. So if you couldn't tell, this is again talking about the data that I can get from the zip code or from coordinates. This is also a demo basically using the reverse geocoding, taking coordinates and deriving the data from that. Coordinates are available through the HTML location APIs that are available, and also all the mobile platforms have that too. So you can use that to pretty much instantly get people's context and information. One of the reasons that I started looking into this, as well as it's a pretty big market. There's a lot of stuff going on in this space. You guys have probably heard of geospatial technologies around in the last several years. Statista says that there's about 4.7 billion mobile users out there. So all of those have access to the location, the reverse geocoding API. BCG.com, they say that geospatial data is driving 1.6 trillion in revenues and is saving $1.4 trillion in costs. And the last one, the market has been growing for a long time. This data is actually the most recent kind of study that I could find. There's other data that if you search around that you'll find is from 2012 to 2014, and this seems to be matching. They seem to be pretty accurate in guessing their growth. So where is Ziptastic now? Ziptastic is currently serving over 3 million requests a month. I think actually it's closer to 4 million. I don't run the stats that often to find out because it's really, I've designed the software to be really fast and really high performance, so I only check these about once a month or so. Average response time is 52 milliseconds. That's very important for mobile users and the internet and web users as well. People don't want to wait for data, obviously. These are some of the clients that are currently using Ziptastic. Charlotte Russe, Rhapsody, formerly Napster, MyBP Stations, like British Petroleum when you sign up for the rewards cards. I found out just writing the stats the last time that I ran them that Philips.com is actually using it, which I didn't realize. Champ Sports, Charity.com, Ballot Ready, which is a kind of a neat service that tells where your ballot registration places are. DollarBeerClub.com, which is kind of cool. It's not Dollar Shave Club, but they seem to be ramping up something pretty big. They also have a very nice beard oil for $1. Terminex and Muck Boots. I don't know if anybody likes Muck Boots. So the future, Ziptastic has been kind of a side project for me for a long time because I have a full-time job as well. There's a lot of places that I would like to go with the data that I have access to. There's more ideas out there, even just that I've seen people using the service through like even some of those websites. Charlotte Russe has a really interesting way to to speed up the registration process on mobile with the zip codes. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do. And this is kind of just what we're looking for. More customers. I haven't really marketed it very much, so there's a lot of opportunity there. We also have open source libraries, so github.com/Ziptastic, and mostly guidance, actually. Awesome. Any questions? Yeah.
Put it back.
super friendly?
So there's a lot of, so it's actually a very competitive space, right? So one of the things that it is pretty fast. I think it's a little bit faster than Google's, a little bit faster than like OSM, OpenStreetMaps, stuff like that. One of the big things is, I kind of as a personal challenge, I didn't want to throttle it, if at all possible. I limit usage, so when you sign up for a certain number of requests, but I will fire those requests off as fast as I possibly can. So that's kind of one of the things. With Google, especially their Places API, if you have a mobile app, you would probably want to pay for their service, which is quite expensive, because they limit you to, I think it's 10 requests per minute or something like that. So, like if you have, a certain number of users, you're expecting a big bang of signups. That's actually one of the big reasons people sign up, is they're like, we're going to do a big press launch, we're going to have a lot of people coming in and signing up, and we don't want to be limited by that.
What do you see as the best possible avenues for monetizing this?
So right now, I'm kind of like been playing with that a little bit. Right now we basically have different tiers of the number of requests per day that you can consume. We have everything from 1,000 requests a day all the way up to 1 million requests a day.
What's your strategy for how you're going to maintain this speed and not throttling your customers as you scale up?
So, this is actually the reason I started this project in the first place. I kind of did some weird experiments in the beginning to keep the speed up, and I've since kind of chilled out with that a little bit. The current stack is a Mongo database, and a little bit of caching with Redis and Nginx. So I'm basically, the way that it's currently architected, I can scale out with Nginx and proxy and I can do DNS round robin proxying and stuff. I'm pretty confident that I can keep this speed, if not faster. I have a personal goal of around 30 milliseconds, 30 to 40, once I add more geolocations to my servers.
Yeah. Do you have like a way of testing that or mocking it or anything?
Yeah, so I actually monitor that stuff fairly closely. I use several different services, ones like Pingdom, which probably a lot of people have heard of. I don't like their service very much. There's another one called RunScope that I've had a lot better luck with. So.
Question. Have you heard of autofill, such as on Chrome, where you start typing in your information and it's got everything already saved?
I have heard of that. So, autofill, one of the things that I kind of got feedback about that, because I was thinking about it as I was kind of making this. What you see here with the autofilling the information is actually a jQuery plugin that I wrote that you can use in that way. That gives you a little bit more control from a user experience perspective. So I don't know a lot of people that use the autofill stuff. So, and also when you use that, you totally take the UX experience outside of like your control and kind of giving it to the browser. And I don't know if I trust browsers with my website's UX. So I think that there's, and that's just like one side of it too. A lot of people seem to like that for some reason. That was actually never my intent. Was that everybody kind of hooked onto that. But yeah, there's a lot of other ways to use that data too.
Yeah. Have you done any marketing? You said you've already got about 3-4 million requests. Where's that coming from?
So I originally launched it kind of for free, and I got a lot of people kind of using it for free because I got a little bit of blog traction initially. But yeah, I haven't really, marketing is my pretty, aside from pitching, it's one of my biggest weak points.
In the middle.
So we used Ziptastic with TrueDepth, but we moved off it a little bit because we needed more data, like what area codes were in a zip code, for example, or what was the population of a certain city. So we ended up having to parse a huge thing from the government, census data, all that stuff. Are you open to providing some of that data later down the line?
Did you send me an email?
Maybe.
Send me an email. We can talk. Some of that data is actually, a lot of the census data is obviously like 10 years old at this point. So I haven't been really in a huge push. I don't get that requested that often. So yeah, I mean, but if it's something that would really help you guys out, let me know. We can figure something out.
All right, let's. So I'm gonna call a wrap. Thanks a lot. First time pitching. That's awesome. Yeah. Way to go, man. All right, our final pitch of the night before everyone's got their community announcements ready after this, right? Our final pitch is going to be a new company called ShapeLog. And this is Brian Hayden down here, his co-founder Nolan. Nolan's on the material science side, Brian's on the everything else side. We got to know each other working on some projects after he was working at his last company, HeatSpring, which was an online e-learning platform for energy certification. So he's fresh off coming and going out to CES, and he's going to tell us a little bit about ShapeLog this evening.
Thanks, Brian. So my name's Brian with ShapeLog, and you might already know this, but all elite athletes right now, they use data. They use it to get stronger and avoid injuries. Not a big surprise. What do the rest of us do? The rest of us wing it. Some of us pay for personal trainers. Personal trainers are expensive. Some of us have Fitbits to kind of motivate us and make it social, but there's no Fitbit for the weight room, and that's what we're going to change. We're bold enough to think that we can do that because we've got some pretty cool technology. We've got devices that log weight room data and track it, collect more data automatically. So we're not asking people to fill anything out or write anything down when they're working out. And software that is a data-driven planning and coaching tool. So I'll share a little more info. So our first two pieces of hardware, the first one is a universal strength tracker. And that's something that clips onto a belt, band, or cable. And when you're working out on any piece of equipment at the gym, it's capturing tension data. And within the tension data, we can pull out how much you're lifting, how many times, calories burned, time under tension, the power that you're exerting at any given time. Even diagnose your form in some cases and find out where your muscles are weak or strong. And then the second product that we've got is a smart band, which does exactly the same thing, but with those stretchy bands that you see at like physical therapy centers. People who travel like those a lot, we're finding out. Featured products will include the smart bar, the smart rack, so we can get all the free weights too. So it's not enough to just collect all this data and vomit it at people, obviously. So we have software that compiles it, pulls insights out of it, and provides coaching, both in real time and then customized workouts. And that's the virtual personal trainer. So our company started 9 weeks ago, and we were at the Consumer Electronics Show, and we had a lot of good conversations there, but last week we signed a deal with Anytime Fitness. So Anytime Fitness here in Ann Arbor, we're going to partner with them. We're going to go in and outfit the gym with our devices, and then we're going to ask members that are interested to pay to have all their workouts logged and to get workouts and coaching done through our system. So if we're successful at this pilot, I think our path looks really good. Anytime has 3,000 locations and 2 million clients in the US. And Anytime is one of a dozen chains that are huge. And we're interested in talking to all of them. Revenue model. It's a monthly fee, just like personal training is, but it's a monthly fee that we're going to charge to the clients. We're going to sell through trainers at gyms. Trainers are the epicenter socially at the gyms. They're like horribly underpaid. They make an average of $33,000 a year. 92% of them are hourly or just straight commission. And we've talked to like a ton of trainers. They love the data that we're giving them. And the only thing they love more than the data is the revenue sharing. And so we're excited. I think there will be a great motivated sales channel. If we build a good product, then it's a big market. Personal training is $10 billion a year. Physical therapy is $5 billion a year. An interesting thing about physical therapy is that insurance companies are requiring that there's validated and documented outcomes in order to compensate. So that's really exciting. Wanted to note here that fitness trackers, it's a growing market, and we're not a wearable device. So we're not competing with a Fitbit or an Apple Watch. We would be complementary to those things. Team, 2-man shop. It's me and Nolan, who's sitting over there. Nolan's way more impressive than I am, and I know he's going to answer some of your questions when you have them. But we both started other companies. We both teach at Michigan. So we haven't started a company in this space before, but we've started other companies. And so we're humble and know that there's a lot we don't know. Biggest thing that we're not knowing currently is what exact form the user experience is going to take. It's got to be like really good and elegant and great, and we know that. We're sort of like biting off some of that with all these charts and graphs and everything, but the way we deliver it is like got to be special. And so we're trying to solve that problem. We're here tonight because this is like a big problem we're trying to solve, and there's zero chance we can do it ourselves. So if this is a problem you're interested in helping us solve, we're going to have devices here and we'll stick around afterwards, but email us. We're like right above Cafe Felix on Main Street, and just come in and demo the stuff and see how it works. Thanks.
Awesome, guys. It's really exciting. This is coming together very, very quickly. Yeah, we'll start off with some questions. So are you going, are you focusing first on the gym market or physical therapy market?
Yeah, you're making me choose?
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be the gym market because we have this pilot at the time. Like tomorrow we're going to do our second demo over at Probability. The physical therapists really like it. We just haven't found like, it hasn't taken off the same way. It's like more of like a deliberate decision-making process where the gyms are just like, okay, come on in.
So you mentioned that you would go through personal trainers. So would people only have access to it if they were working with a trainer, or would you let customers use the app? Because like I use Nike Training Club, which has workouts in it, and it doesn't track the actual weights, but it tells me what I should be doing. So is there any potential to kind of integrate with something like that?
Yeah, so that's the user experience piece of it, which it sounds like you like the way Nike solved that for you. I think we're looking to be inspired by people like that, and then a partnership with you too. I think we're open to anything at this point. We're gonna build it ourselves because we've committed to doing that for the pilot, at least a minimum viable product. But yeah, we have to. It's an open question.
I think we plan on having a free version of the app that will capture what people did, and then we'll entice them with the richness of data by giving them teasers into what we can tell them and motivate them to sign up for the free version.
Question up at the back.
What's the fee for the consumer, and how many devices do you have in the gym, and what's the cost of one device?
We're starting with $10 a month for the user. The devices, depending on how many we make and the types of decisions we make about what exactly it's going to need to do, it could cost us anywhere from $7 to $300 to make. A good budgetary number is $100.
And how many you need for the one gym?
Yeah, we're going to start with 4. A leg press, a pull-down bar, chest press, and one other one.
Have you thought of partnering with any like health and wellness divisions in universities to get into like the athletic training or into like physical therapy departments to see how those areas would use it? Like if you wanted to see like how a PT, how it would benefit them, get it while they're still in the university setting, in the clinical setting, and then like using that as a test group?
Yeah, do you work at one of those?
Yeah.
Great, yeah, we're excited to, I think we're gonna, for the next 2 months, we're gonna focus on this first pilot, but then we gotta, we'd love to do as much of that as possible. Question to that?
So, two-part question. Does the device then just stay on that one machine all the time?
Yeah, the idea is that you sell them to the gyms and then it stays on the machines.
So, how does the user interface for that device specifically then? How does the data their phone or their app?
We may use QR code initially just because it's a low barrier to entry, but eventually we could use, at gyms like Anytime, every member carries around an NFC fob, so that can be used to identify them as well as obviously a Bluetooth telemetry.
I like phone docs, so you can see while you're lifting the chart, like the graph. Nolan doesn't like that one as much.
Question down.
So do you have any intellectual property that's exclusive to you? And kind of beyond that, what are the barriers to entry for somebody coming in and trying to replicate what you're doing?
No one's done this yet. We have a provisional patent file that dates back to over a year ago. had the full filing applied in November, and we're just starting to get office actions right now. Based on initial feedback, looks like we have some ground for a patent, 10 novel claims.
Just showing some, an example of at our office.
Next question.
So related to the question from earlier, the data that's actually coming from the device, are you, like with the system as it's architected now, is it designed to be going through to an online portal? Does it have to connect to a network in the gym itself, go to you, and then get to the user, or is it connecting directly to a user device?
And push it directly to the cloud.
Okay. All right, so then the gym will need an internet connection and a router or something to be able to connect it.
Or some maybe a local server that can handle it before it pushes it, yeah.
Okay.
What was the sales cycle and sales process to get the first pilot?
So we didn't sell them. It's a pilot site. I don't call this our first customer. So it was fast, really fast. They love the idea of revenue sharing. They love the idea of something that's going to improve their membership numbers. So we haven't. So yeah, this was real fast, but I don't think it's necessary.
Was it the first gym that you talked to and they were like, yes, and then you're like, cool,
yeah,
we're done.
It was literally the first thing we wanted to do.
Okay. We're done to see yes.
Well, Brian and Nolan, thanks so much.
Everyone usually hangs around here if you want to grab some time with any of the speakers afterward. And now we'll do a transition into community announcements. So if you have an event, if you have a company, you're looking for help, you're looking to change your job, line up on down front. Roger, tell us where. Right where I am?
Anywhere there. Just don't move so fast next time.
Come on down and line up and tell us what you got to tell us.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm the organizer of the Ruby meetup here in Ann Arbor. We meet the last Tuesday of every month. So our next meeting will be on the 29th, which is 2 weeks from tonight. Our upcoming topic will be how to use ES6 within Rails. And if you have any questions, you can come talk to me and we're on meetup. So hope you check us out.
Hi, I'm Satish, local entrepreneur here with CEO of Next Services and a co-founder at Catalog. I also dabble in other things, and one of them is that I'm a mentor at the SI Accelerator. I don't know if many of you are familiar with it. Some might be, some might not be. Just wanted to make an announcement that they started last year through a partnership with Ross at Michigan and the Center for Entrepreneurship. They're a local accelerator for startup companies, startup tech companies. Provide a lot of things, including mentorship, office space, like $50,000 in safe investments. Their next cohort, which is the second one, is going to be starting earlier this year, and the application deadline is March 18th, in case anybody's interested, or a local tech startup. Great resources. The first slate of companies did pretty well last year, so I think you can look them up online. If not, I'm around here if you want to.
Hi everyone, my name is Mike Diaz. I'm the chair of an organization called Michigan Marketing Minds, and I wanted to let everyone know that we've got a program planned with Angela Kajava from Logic Solutions, and she's going to talk about failing forward, the role of failure in becoming a more successful business. So I'll put some additional information in the meetup. In the meetup strings, but it's going to be March 29th at 5 o'clock, and the location still to be determined. So thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thanks for listening to us, guys. I'm Eric Cox. This is Karina McIntyre. Also, Jacob Saslow. We are here to tell you a little bit about the Entrepreneurship Clinic. We're all second-year law students. I hope that you guys all know by now that there is our free legal services offered through the law school for Michigan students and their affiliates. We do incorporation, we do intellectual property work, we do financing. So if you go to law.umich.edu/EC, you can apply. And they're rolling applications, so hopefully we will see some applications coming through, and we really look forward to working with you guys.
And the best part,
law students?
Okay, well the best part is that the services are free, they're pro bono offered to you, and basically our requirement is that you have some type of affiliation with the University of Michigan. So there's a little bit of leeway there. But what you can also do is, at least for the entrepreneurship clinic, we hold 3 office hours in the campus locations: North Campus, CLI at the business school. Where's our third? And the Tech Arb. So every week. So if you go to our website, you can sign up for those office hours, get a free 15-minute consultation, and we can go from there.
To piggyback on that, representing the transactional lab clinic, very similar, focuses on a little different group. We provide like corporate contracting needs for licensing and other service agreements to free services to those who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it, and you don't necessarily need to be affiliated with the university to take advantage of these services. We're all going to hang around to answer questions. Please come ask us.
Yeah, we'll probably be that corner up there, so you can find us there. All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Scott Gosi, and I run a couple meetups here in town, one of which is kind of the sister event to this, which is the A2NewTech. So if you like the A2NewTech event where you watch presentations, one of my favorite parts is kind of afterwards as well, where you get to go to Pizza House and kind of talk with other entrepreneurs. So we made an event out of it. So between A2NewTech events, on the A2NewTech page is A2NewTech. So it'll be 2 weeks from now on a Wednesday, because we couldn't get Tuesday, and there'll be an RSVP limit of 50, so sign up. And then Coffeehouse Coders, another group I organize, will be next week Wednesday. So if you want to learn how to code, come up to me afterwards or come to the group. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna, and it's my first New Tech meetup. And I want to share 2 things. One is I have a blog for startups. It's called Kick-Ass Startup. And we share advice and lessons learned, but we also feature startups and entrepreneurs. So if you want to be featured or you want to learn about new ideas, find us on Instagram. It's Kick-Ass Startup, 1 word, 2 S, not 3, just 2. And another thing is I'm looking for a job in a startup, and my main strengths are marketing, strategy, operations, or anything else.
Repeat the name again slowly.
My name?
No, the name of the site.
Oh, it's Kick-Ass Startup, and it's 2 S's, not 3.
You can put it on the comment section of this meetup too, that would help.
Thank you.
Hey, my name is Diane. That over there is Nilima, and she's losing her voice, so I'm the talker for now. We're 2 of 4 people who are passionate about healthcare. Some of us relatively good at coding. I'm not one of them. And we realized that there is no healthcare hackathon in Ann Arbor. So we founded a nonprofit called Ann Arbor Health Hacks. And our first event will be the weekend of June 24 to 26. And so we want to bring together a diverse community of people like me, who can't hack, people like at least some of you who seem to be able to hack, and everybody else to really, get startups in the healthcare space started around here. Our first event will be focused on disease prevention. We've got a website that we hope goes up sometime this week. It's Ann Arbor Health Hacks. That's A2healthhacks.com.org, and we've got a Facebook page, or otherwise talk to us. Happy hour coming up on the 29th. We're still working on the location on that. But talk to us. We're definitely passionate, and we want to make this an annual event.
Hello everybody, it's an honor to be here. My name is Michael from Denmark. My life right now is dedicated to making the best digital multimeter experience ever. If you don't know what a digital multimeter is, it's for measuring electricity, and we do it by making it programmable, connected to the internet. So if you work with multimeters, know somebody who works with multimeters, or interested in it, let me know. Love it. Thank you.
Everybody, my name is Tim. I have a platform, or I have a company called Ride Media. It's a platform for local businesses to advertise events and other content on an iPad, kiosk, and Uber cars. I've been going solo since the beginning, and I'm looking for a possible technical co-founder and a sales and marketing guru. I don't have any experience in coding. I outsourced all my stuff so far to a company in Ann Arbor. I'm also looking for local businesses to advertise with us and Uber drivers to have that kiosk in their vehicles. So I guess that's it. Anybody want to talk to me? I'll be back there floating around. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Doug Sum, CEO at Geocoding. How many here have heard of Techstars? A bunch of folks, right?
Right, okay. So Techstars, their application for a number of their programs, including the program in Detroit called Techstars Mobility, the deadline is actually in 5 days. So if you haven't applied, I strongly encourage you to do so. And again, it covers a bunch of stuff besides mobility in Detroit. It also includes Techstars Retail, New York, Chicago, London. But if you go to techstars.com/apply, you'll find all the information, but you should do it soon. The other thing I want to mention is Duo is hiring. We're always hiring, but we're hiring 80 people in the next 3 months. So if you are looking for a job, check out duo.com/jobs. And actually, who else is hiring? Raise your hands. All right. So anyone else who is looking for folks looking for a job, talk to one of those.
And I just wanted to plug another 2 meetups that if you want to get more hands-on help or you like hearing these pitches tonight and you want to refine your business plan, a great one is the Ann Arbor Lean Startup Circle. You search for that on Meetup and you'll find it. They meet at least once a month. I know last week they went through a bunch of lean canvases, which is like a 2-page business plan. And the other one, Angela Pete down here and I just started is the Ann Arbor Product Meetup. So if you work in the areas of product management or product marketing, we're meeting the second Tuesday every month. Consistency is good. We had our first one last week, and we're going to be doing the next one, probably hosted at Barracuda's offices. About 25 people come out, right? Saw the RSVP at 22, and I said, maybe 10 will show. So that's a good sign. There's a lot of people professionally, whether it's in a large company or a small company, practicing product management. There's a place to gather every month now. So thanks everybody for coming out this evening. How about another round of applause for all of our pitchers? Same time, same place, next month, 3rd Tuesday, April 19th. And if you want to pitch, come talk to me afterward or email organizers at A2NewTech.org. And people will be hanging around here for a few, which always turns into more than a few. And then moseying over to Pizza House if you'd like to catch up there later. Thanks for coming.